hi, it's Robin Raskin back from IMEX at the Virtual Events Group booth, and we are talking about tech, whether it's in real life events, virtual events, metaverse events, or Mars events. But we're sort of getting a temperature check on people's sentiments as we're in this transition world between live, Memrex, and everything in between. And I'm here with Joe Federbush, Chief Strategist of EVOLIO, and what does a chief strategist do? Well, I'm going to let Joe tell you that.
All right, thanks, Robin. So strategy is so important, and it's kind of a beat up word and term these days. It's like consulting, so to speak. So we work with companies to really help them understand what's most important to measure, how you're going to measure it, what are your KPIs, what are your OKRs, your objectives, key results, and stuff like that. So it's not just a survey with some data, there's actually a strategy behind the measurement.
So, so you, and you did this before the pandemic,
Oh yeah,
and you've been doing this for a long time.
oh yeah, longer than I'd like to admit.
And so, are people's strategies? I mean, did they have time to reflect, like for the last 2 years, and say, what are our strategies? New generation, new everything.
Yeah, I think we were figuring it out as we went along, a lot of us, right? And some of us have like plateaued, some of us have peaked beyond that, and some of us have not done so great when it comes to virtual events and hybrid events and back to in-person events. And, so we've seen it all. And yeah, it's been really interesting because we've all learned. And now there's a lot of things we can reflect on to say, okay, didn't work, but why didn't it work? And a lot of the research and measurement we're doing is help them understand, like kind of reverse engineer the process to figure out why it didn't work. Not technology doesn't work for everyone.
And so, do you rely on the data that you collect? Is it survey and polling, questionnaires?
Yeah.
And do you think people are? I know I get to about question 51, and then I say, really? You've had enough of my time. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
Well, respondent fatigue is a big thing when designing a survey, absolutely. And that goes back to the strategy. What are you trying to accomplish? We're only asking questions that are must know, not nice to know. And keep the questionnaire short, keep it very targeted, know your audience, obviously deliver the survey in a way that's most effective. Believe it or not, sometimes paper surveys are more effective than online surveys. It's bizarre.
Imagine, right?
Imagine, yeah.
Sustainable and all
Yeah,
that.
and yeah, exactly. How many trees? But for the most part, obviously, the beauty of virtual is that online data capture.
Yeah. And then the next question is, so these guys feel obligated to, some boss said, get the data from the event. Is it just a check-off box, like I got my data, and then
Right.
they put the data in the drawer, or are they working with it?
We see all the above. For some, it definitely is a check the box kind of thing. Say we measured, what are we doing with it? Probably nothing. Fortunately, for the most part, though, because you have to put an investment in measurement to do it right,
That's right.
whether it's a simple survey or true analytics. And so what we are finding is that we're coaching a lot of our clients in how to use the
Yeah.
data, not just that you have data. So like what are the suggestions for improvement, what worked really well, make best known methods from that, best case studies, things like that, so that they can continue evolving and doing it right.
So you're like the data shrink.
I
Um,
like that. I'm going to use that.
so it's very funny because I think the expectation, you want my data, give me something. I'll give you a great example. I went to Encore's booth here,
Hmm.
and they gave you an iPad, and you went from QR code to QR code, and they asked you deep questions like, what's stopping you from being successful at events? How's your DEI going?
You're right.
They got so much information from me because they gave me like a white smoke and music experience at the
Okay.
end and a
All right.
glass of champagne.
There you go.
So it was kind of like an even deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, incentivizing is always important when you're doing research. What's in it for me to give my information to you? That's only fair, and it has to be within reason. But the cool thing with that example is, we're in the experiential market, whether it's
Yeah.
digital or in person, and that was a really cool experience in order to get the information from you about
Yes.
you.
And cooler still, it wasn't that expensive.
Yeah.
It's not like, every time people say experiential, I know you guys all start thinking like, how much is this going to cost me?
Cha-ching. Yeah.
Right. But it really is just rethinking something out of the box. And it's no different than, somebody mentioned this the other day in a session. At Comic Con, when you used to go there, they gave you a pin every time you went to a booth. And then if you collected the set of 8, you got a prize.
Yeah.
People's behaviors don't change.
No, it's funny. We just did a bunch of surveys at some gaming events globally, and the pins are the biggest incentive. Like we're like, do a survey, we'll give you a $10 Starbucks gift card or a pin. I'll take the pin. It's
I know.
crazy, but know your audience,
And
right?
so do you see a change, a generational change, digital collectibles? Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's some things that are tried and true, but just that example of like pins or gift cards. So we used to give away like physical gift cards. Now more and more we're giving away e-gift cards, like digital gift cards. Just give us your email address, we'll email you the gift card. Yeah, they'd rather get it that way.
yeah,
But then, you just have to be clear and transparent about privacy. How is that email going to be used and things like that. Yeah.
you got it. Well, I hope you keep doing this because your wisdom about
Your wisdom.
the metrics involved here, and everybody, data is the new currency.
It's important. Yeah.
So pleasure to be with you.
You too, Robin.
And so if people want to know more, they go to Evolio,
EVOLIOmarketing.com.
and Joe's a regular on our virtual events group shows too, so you'll see him again there.
That's right. Excellent. Great to
Pleasure.
see you.
You too.
Take care.